So this is errors in reading continued. In the last section we saw some of the errors that your child might make. We talked about, when we go back and we look at these errors with a child. This section talks about when you should do that and if you should do that, if you should go back and check those errors, or when you should do it. Sometimes, especially, I would suggest that, especially when it affects the meaning of the story, those are often errors that we want to say, oh, wait a second, can you try that again? And especially if it's not making sense and to you, but they haven't noticed the error. Because really what we want to do is constantly keep the meaning in check. So if you've got a meaning error, that might be reason to stop in the middle of the story. Those other errors that you might have seen, like headlights, well, it didn't affect the meaning and it didn't change the story any. So those are the types of errors that when you get to the end of the book, say, good job, I noticed some things, let's go back and look. And so that's what you can do. If we constantly stop during a story, it kind of discourages, reading, and it kind of discourages trying, and it actually encourages your child to stop when they have difficulty and look to you for help. And that sometimes is a very difficult thing to stop. So make sure that you're not stopping too frequently. Use your best judgment. Decide whether it really is affecting or impacting the story. It has a ladder with a bag. Well, doesn't quite make sense. That could be one. If there's a lot of errors, you might not decide to stop for that one. If there are just a few errors, you might say, well, we have time, we didn't stop for any else, so we can stop for this right now. But it is very important at the end of the book to look back and say, you know what, I noticed when you said box here, you thought maybe that didn't make sense, or maybe that didn't look right. What happened when you came to that word? And really praise the self-corrections and using those strategies. And when you go back to look at errors, you said headlights and that made sense to me, but let's look and try and keep it as positive as you can. And again, it's a judgment call. Over and above the meaning, you make sure you keep the meaning intact. And if you are having or feeling like you should be stopping a lot because there are a lot of errors, especially with meaning, then probably this is too high of a level, and this might be a book we say, you know what, let's try this book another day.